Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How are you all doing on this fine day of the week?
It's fine Tuesday. It's a fine Tuesday.
It is a fine Tuesday. My kids started the in-person online schooling situation.
So
And we got
exciting.
that sorted as per yesterday's gong show. Complete and utter disaster. Anywho, we're going to dive right in because this is a really important topic. We started talking about it yesterday in the sense of, how do you know? How do you know what to look for? How do you know what you need? How do you know who to trust? And listen, like in full transparency, obviously we have the 10K online success system that we would love for you to enroll in.
Yeah.
And we know that we need to earn the trust of our audience in order for them, you, to make a confident and comfortable decision. And we also know that most practitioners and coaches, with the utmost respect, have no clue what it is that you actually need to have a 6 or 7 figure online business.
Yes.
So all of these things are true. And I'll add even one more. And we know that there's a variety of people that are preaching and teaching and are telling you this, that, and the other thing. And frankly, I don't want to play in that sandbox.
Yes.
I have no desire to play in that sandbox. Our end game is to educate you, is to provide a tremendous amount of training and content and support and resources and the answering of all the questions.
All of them.
All. So that you have the tangibles that you need to make a confident decision that the 10K online success system, that, investing in the Wellness Business Hub program is the next best move for you. We don't play in the sandbox of, smoke and mirrors, this one single strategy, sure, I might use that as a headline to get attention, but if you are in my world for any length of time, then you will know that we, A, aren't here to blow smoke up your ass, and B, it's simple and not easy. There is no one single thing that will make you successful, and there is no one single thing that will break you. That will hinder your success. And so for us, it's really important that we spend our time really talking about the core components of what an online business is required to have to gain success. Whether you're a parenting coach, an aromatherapist, you do direct sales, you are a naturopath, you are a pet holistic veterinarian. You work with parents who have special needs children. It does not matter. And I even wrote a book about it. I wrote a whole book on the 5+1 components, which we call the Health Expert Business Model, of creating and growing a profitable online business. And these are the components that I want you to look for when you are shopping around, when you are investigating mentors and programs. And if you don't have these core components, and you are thinking of working with someone, check their business. Does their business and the model that they are running, do you want to emulate and replicate what they are doing?
Yes.
Right. And so if you're not sure, actually just look at what they're doing with their business.
Yep.
If they are answering your customer service emails, with respect, like,
yes,
that is not something I would, desire to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like emulate or
emulate. I think emulate is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, like emulate. So it's these types of things, and not to knock anybody, but I think that when you are thinking about who to learn from and business models and types of businesses that you want to teach you and train you and mentor you and help you grow a successful business, if the person or company or whatever does not have the components off the hop, I would be wary.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean that you should come run to us. I genuinely want you to have the information that you need so that you can make a confident decision as to who to work with, whether that's us or genuinely anyone else.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? Because when we enroll people into the 10K online success system, our advisors hear a lot from people and it breaks our heart. Oh, I invested $25,000 in this coach and I left with nothing.
Yes.
Or I spent $15,000 on a website and it's not doing anything to get me clients. Or I was working one-on-one with a business coach, but they didn't really have an online model and, led me astray. We have somebody even in our mastermind who paid, I think it was like $10,000 or $15,000 to have a funnel built.
Yes.
That really doesn't even work in the health industry.
Yes. And these are really common experiences, like really, really, really common experiences. And so this conversation is really important, over and above, aside from the fact, of whether or not you're even considering working with us in any capacity. Take this conversation and really, really pay attention, because there are so many costly mistakes that, especially if you are new and you're new to business and, you don't have maybe the faith and trust of your loved ones yet. And your spouse is doubtful of, you and your capabilities, and your family is doubtful, and all of these things. And, you rush into a decision based on cost alone, or like smoke and mirrors, or an exciting ad, and it doesn't pan out. It can be really hard to come back from that and take the leap the next time.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't want to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So whether you decide to work with us in any official capacity or not, we wanted to go through what we believe you should be looking for when deciding where to place your trust and where to place your faith and where to place your money and your time and your energy and your bandwidth. Right? Because that, at the end of the day, that is really what matters, is for us to be able to, give you that level of security and that level of confidence to really grow from. And so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to share, and I'm going to make this, let's see if we can get this going here. Cool. There we go.
Man, look how good that looks.
We're fancy.
Mm-hmm.
We are so fancy. So, what we're about to walk through, you can see in almost every successful business. This isn't just specific to the online space. This isn't specific to naturopaths. This isn't specific. This is general business, 101.
Yeah.
And so what we see sometimes are practitioners and coaches wanting to invest in a very small piece of the puzzle, which is what we were talking about yesterday. For example, an email list building program, or a webinar program, or a standalone create your online course program, or a social media branding course. Like, all of these standalone courses are great. I'm sure they're great. Some of them probably are less great than others, but I'm sure, like, in and of themselves, you would almost think of them as a class in a university sort of
Totally. Yep. 100%.
Right? That's what it would be. It would be like social media 101 as part of like your semester of getting your like marketing degree.
Such a good way of looking at it. That is
right?
So
Where
true.
it's like one course, but like that individual course in and of itself, like you're like, all right, cool, but like, what do I do now?
Yes.
And that's because you don't have these 5+1 pillars. It's because you don't have, you know, the required courses in that you would take in year one of your degree, right? Yeah. I remember when I was doing my degree, like there were prerequisites that you even had to take in order to take the required year one courses. And if you don't have the prerequisites, you had to go back and do it. I remember because for a hot minute, I wanted to be a high school gym teacher.
Still my favorite thing about you, I think.
Because I was like, yeah, teaching could be cool. Like, I already had a degree. I had like my nutrition thing. It was like when I was pregnant with Daniel. Like, it was 10 years ago. It wasn't like so long ago. On being pregnant, running my nutrition, being full-time, like, you know, basically being separated. I was like, let me go back to university and become a high school gym teacher.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah. I didn't even fit my belly. Me and my belly didn't even fit in the desks. Anyway, it's a good thing I looked young because it wasn't like, what is this old lady here? Anywho, back to the script. But I remember being like, crap, I don't have these prerequisites. Like, it really screwed me up because I didn't have the fundamentals before I could even go and get the fundamentals.
Yeah, totally.
I didn't have the background knowledge, training, experience to even go and do the level one. So I was like, oh man. So I had to like go and do the prerequisites to get into the thing. And that's where I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And see, but there you go. Even that in and of itself, me taking the prerequisite classes, which were like science and math, clearly, right? It totally was like, oh, I am not cut out for this.
Yes.
And that mattered. It mattered. And so when you are looking for a business program or a coach, step one would be, what floor or what level am I at right now? And what do I need to get me to that next level? And if you are, go ahead.
I just do this. And what we mean by that level is not what level as a practitioner, and not how many years experience you have working with clients. And people make this mistake all the time.
Yes.
We mean what level in terms of, say you're looking to set up an online business, what level of that are you at?
Yes.
Right? You may have 20 years in brick and mortar practice.
Yes.
But if you do not have an online or virtual component established yet, you are at level 0.
Yes.
That's really important.
Yes. You are in year 1.
Yes.
You are in the prerequisite to get into the year 1.
Yes.
And that's where you're at. And so when you're searching for coaches at that level, you know, and you have either no or a very small following, you've made less than 10 sales online, you don't have any systems, you don't have any processes, you don't have an earthly clue even what it is that you need.
Yep.
And you are relying on the people who have something to offer, something to sell, to advise you.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I hope that we can do is give you the advice without anything to offer. We know that the right people will come. We know that we will enroll practitioners and coaches who, right, feel like we are the next best move. And so we're going to go through this with you so that you have it to take and to utilize throughout your sort of vetting process.
Yeah.
So when it comes to building an online business, there are 5+1 pillars that you need regardless of the model that you choose.
Yeah.
So whether you want to run a membership subscription-based situation, you want to do affiliate marketing, you want to become an influencer, it does not matter. These are, what's the word? Agnostic.
Ooh, okay. I love where you went with that. Totally.
These are agnostic
Yes.
of
Oh my gosh.
the business model.
Yeah.
So when you are looking to get to that 6-figure place, when you are looking to go above and beyond that, these are the questions that you should be asking. Does the program give me this? Does the program give me this? Will I get this? Will I get this? And so on and so forth, because that is what is important. So number one, and if you've ever been on a master class with me, we're talking purple duck. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. So number one, pillar plus one is who do you want to serve? It's the who and the what. So who is it that you most want to serve? And what is the problem that your entire business, your brand, your offers, your program, your services, what is it set up to do? We are in the business of transforming lives, whether that's emotionally, spiritually, physically, it does not matter. Mm-hmm. But there is a problem that the people that you most want to work with have. And if you can't speak their purple duck language, good luck.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You need to stand out. And before you even stand out, you can't stand out if you don't have clarity.
Yes. Deep clarity.
Yeah. Deep clarity on who it is that you most want to serve and the problem that you solve. And when you have that clarity and you anchor everything else in your business, your brand, your social media content, your your ongoing nurture, your educational content, the program that you create, the sales process that you create, everything that you create in your business is anchored to who it is that you most want to serve and the problem that you want to solve.
Yep.
So if you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, if you're like, I don't know what to write on social media now, I don't know what to say, it's because you don't have +1 nailed. And +1 is the most challenging.
Yes.
And it is the thing that screws. If you don't do this,
yep,
I promise you, the rest of the 5 won't work.
Nope, they will not.
You will not get clients. You will not stand out. It will be much harder. It'll be super challenging.
Yes.
And it will make standing out from the crowd almost impossible.
Yes.
And so we need to focus on +1 before we go anywhere else. And then we go 1. So 1 and 2 are very closely linked. So when you're vetting, you want to say, okay, does this program, whatever it is, coach, whoever, have a step-by-step way to help me attract, acquire, educate, and nurture the right leads?
And if I can add in, that doesn't just mean a tool. So if somebody is just going to teach you how to use Facebook ads, that is not what we're talking about. That is a tool that can be utilized with an overall strategy of how to attract your people, what to bring them in with, what to do with them, and how to get in front of them, right? there should be the ability to take that strategy and go and use different tools should you decide to whenever in your business journey and not have to skip a beat.
Yes. And one more thing that I'll add to that when we talk about standing out from the crowd and the KLT plus E sequence, which is the know, like, trust, and engage sequence, is that if you don't know how to do this organically, if you don't understand, and I mean truly understand, like,
Yes.
if you don't get the purpose of the strategy, you will waste thousands of dollars on Facebook ads.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Thousands.
Yes.
And that's why we train on it. We train you on it. Before we give you the go ahead to go and do ads, we make sure that you understand what lead gen actually is.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yep.
If you're like, yeah, I need to get clients, we're like, yeah, okay, what's lead gen? And if you're like, what?
Yeah.
We're like, what? Who's on first? Right? Like, what? What do you mean lead gen? Like, I'll put posts up on social media. We're like, yeah, friend, that ain't lead gen.
Nope. Or my favorite, I'll just boost my post.
Oh, shh, don't even. You
know how I feel.
Uh-huh. So, you know, and we're joking, sort of. Sorry, not sorry. But we feel so strongly about this because we see so many incredible, smart, well-meaning practitioners and coaches.
Yes.
Making the wrong investment given where they're at because someone else told them that this particular strategy is the be all and end all. And then they come in, we see this. Yes. They come in and they're like, no, I have a lead magnet. And we're like, it has nothing to do with your program.
Yes. Oh,
great, you have a lead magnet, but like, what is this even?
Yeah.
Right? And you have to start from scratch, and then you get frustrated, and then you get pissed off because you wasted all this time. And so each one of these things are like, I wish that like we had hours and hours, but like each one of these things, we have to go back to who do you want to serve? So does everything, standing out from the crowd and your lead gen and your nurture sequence and the content that you publish every day, is it yellow duck? Is it just like generic vanilla blend in yellow duck? Or are you speaking purple duck? Are you using your purple duck call to attract all the purple ducks? And are you standing out? And is it relevant back to the transformation? Yes. Everything that you do in your business has to be literally one link tied, no degrees of Kevin Bacon separation. It has to be tied back to how is this going to solve my problem?
Yes. And as you're saying this, it keeps coming into my head. This is simple, what we're explaining to you guys, but this is the hard part. And this is why so many practitioners and coaches will attend a seminar or register for, a course that's like a fully DIY course or do whatever and then not get anywhere and not see results because this is nuanced and it very often requires personalized help. This is not something that most people can go read a document and say, awesome, I get it. Now I'm going to make a lead magnet and I'm going to do a KLT series and now I'm going to do a sales process. Like this requires conversation with people who know what they're doing.
Yes. Who are able to, as Sarah even says in the comments, this process for me, this has been a process for me because the problem I solve is different than the one I most solve as a one-on-one clinician. Yeah. Right? As a one-on-one clinician. And so we want to make sure, like, when you are vetting, ask about the experience of the trainer, of the mentor, of the coach. Have they had experience? What is their experience helping practitioners and coaches get very clear on not just their niche, like, because I can help people with their niche. That's not what this is.
No.
This is like 7 levels deep, and have a conceptualized brand and a conceptualized, really in-depth understanding of how to create the ideal client, so that when you get to pillar 4, right? Pillar 4, which is create the service, the program. For us, we preach signature programs because that is the ticket to freedom. But if you're going to use a different model, cool. Either way, your subscription, your affiliate, whatever it is that you offer must be tied back to component or pillar +1.
Yep.
Must be. And most often it's not. And therefore you go and you sell it, and there's a massive disconnect because you brought in the wrong people. You brought in pigeons when you wanted to bring in purple ducks.
Yes.
And so we'll leave it here. We'll dive deeper into 3, 4, and 5 tomorrow, because there's a lot to unpack. But just whether you ever work with us in any official capacity or not, I feel like I've done my job when we get every practitioner and coach to understand the fundamentals of a business.
Yes.
Not of a clinical practice, because the fundamentals of a clinical practice are not the same things as the fundamentals of a financially successful, impactful business. And that is what we are here to help you build. So we will see you tomorrow. We're going to go through 3, 4, and 5. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.